The choice of life or death. Deuteronomy 30 and 11, NLT. This command I am giving you today is not too difficult for you to understand, and it is not beyond your reach. It is not kept in heaven, so distant that you must ask, who will go up to heaven and bring it down so we can hear it and obey? It is not kept beyond the sea, so far away that you must ask, who will cross the sea to bring it to us so we can hear it and obey? No, the message is very close at hand. It is in your lips and in your heart so that you can obey it. Now listen. Today I am giving you a choice between life and death, between prosperity and disaster. For I command you this day to love the Lord, Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, your God, your power, your creator. For I command you this day to love the Lord your God and to keep his commandments, decrees, and regulations by walking in his ways. If you do this, you will live and multiply, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land you are about to enter and occupy. But if your hearts turn away and you refuse to listen, and if you are drawn away to serve and worship other gods, then I warn you now that you will certainly be destroyed. You will not live a long, good, good life in the land you are crossing the Jordan to occupy. Today, I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. Oh, that you would choose life, so that you and your descendants might live. You can make this choice by loving the Lord your God, obeying him, and committing yourself firmly to him. This is the key to your life. And if you love and obey the Lord, you will live long in the land that the Lord swore to give your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this is who you will serve. Choose who you will serve. Choose who you will serve. Life or death. Life or death. Life or death. Sirach 15 and 17. Before man is life and death. Those are your only two options. Before man is life and death. And whether him liketh shall be given him. Whether him liketh, what you like, what you choose, where you put your foot towards, is going to be given you. So choose who you will serve, life or death. So giving all praises, honor, glory, power, riches, and dominion, and wisdom and knowledge, and all things unto the God, power, creator of all things that we know, of heaven and earth, the Most High, Yahawah, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Those are the names. Those are the true powers, the only true one God and power of life itself, of all things that we know. It's only one. So, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. And shalom to the men pushing this same word, this truth, this true doctrine, the elect of the nation of Israel. And much honor to the apostle men, the elder men of the GMS church that has this same truth, that's pushing this same word. So choose life, the one that gives life, the one that controls who lives and who dies. These other gods don't do that. And they're not even gods. They're idols. They're imaginations. They're make-believe. Jesus is a demon. That entity don't exist. Under the guise and leadership of people who worship Jesus, they allow you to sin. So they lead you towards death. Because sin is death. KJV, Deuteronomy 30 and 15 says, choose life. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. Jump down, Deuteronomy 30:19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Choosing life is to serve and worship the only thing that really exists, the one that gave you life, that created the earth. Yeah, here it is. Isaiah 42:5. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith God, the Lord, he that created the heavens. Who created the heavens? The earth, the sky, the atmosphere, everything that we look up and see. The real most high God, the real one. He that created the heavens and stretched them out. He that created the heavens and stretched them out. Buddha, Allah, all those names did not do any of that. He that spread forth the earth, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. So how are you worshiping anything else outside of this individual? I'm gonna read that again. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith God, the Lord, YAHAWAH Bahashem, YAHAWAH, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. Who else did this? Who else is there? How are you worshiping something outside of this entity, this power? NLT, same verse. God the Lord created the heavens and stretched them out. He created the earth and everything in it. He created the earth and everything in it. He gives breath to everyone, life to everyone who walks on the earth. And it is who? And it is he who says. So that's the verse. Read down. It says, I got a lot of those scriptures. So choose this day who you gonna serve. A make-believe God or the real Yahawah Shemi Hawashai. You know Jesus don't exist. Stop saying that name. It got no power in it. That's a demon. Jesus allowed people to be homos and sodomites. Jesus allows people to sin and say it's okay when that's not even in the scriptures. That's a demon. You call on Jesus, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to call on Jesus in that day, you're going to die. You're going to die because that don't exist. It don't exist. It's not a real power. It literally do not exist. So watch this. 1 Corinthians 8:4. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered and sacrificed unto idols. We know that an idol is nothing in the world. So Jesus, Buddha, Allah, all these things are nothing in the world. Because Jesus is not the Lord's name, it's YAHAWAH. The letter J wasn't even invented until around the 1600s, around there. And he was a Hebrew speaking man, he spoke Hebrew. And y'all know these things, y'all heard these things, but yet y'all still calling y'all idiots. Y'all gonna die for it. Because y'all calling on demons, because you're a demon. It says, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many. Because Israelites are Lord, just like how it says Sarah uh, called Abraham Lord. We're all lords and we're all gods. The Israelites, the elect, start from the elect of the nation of Israel. The Alahayim in the beginning, the Alahayim. Because Allah is just Hebrew for power. But they didn't turn it into some other stuff. But continuing, 1 Corinthians 8:6, but to us there is but one God, Yahweh, the Father, Yahweh, the Father of spirits, the Ancient of days, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Yahushua Hamashiach, the Messiah, the Anointed One, by whom are all things, and we by him. Yahushua. It's not no Jesus Christ. It's Yahushua. And you would die behind that fact. You would die behind that fact. The name don't matter, this and that. You will die behind that fact. That's how much it matters. You will die. You will lose your life behind the fact that you keep calling on Jesus instead of Yahushua. Just off that fact. Because you're calling on a demon. It's not even his name. And you've been told, it's been proven to you. Proverbs 30:4. Let me get back to that. Nah, I'm gonna read it. Proverbs 30:4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Real life stuff. It says, who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? It ain't no wood and stone, make believe, none of that. Y'all tweaking. That's why the Lord said, choose this day life or death. You serve the living power which lives. We say the scriptures and we say the living power, the living God, because people have made idols and gods, so-called, that don't live. They aren't even real. They have no life in them. Wood and stone. That's why he says you're going to serve your gods. You're going to serve idols and gods made of wood and stone. Inanimate objects that when you call upon it, they won't be able to do nothing for you. And this is how we going to do you. How Elijah did them. Watch this. 1 Corinthians 18:26. And they took the bullock, which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name Baal. So a demon, something else, something outside of Yahawah Shemi Hawashai. From morning even unto noon, saying, "O Balal, hear us." So, "O Jesus, O Buddha, O Allah, O whatever, any other name, because those are the only ones that be coming to mind. All the other religion names and weird shit. Oh, that, hear us." But there was no voice because there was no life in them. There's only one living God, but there was no voice. Why wasn't it a voice? Because there is no life. You need life to have a voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped up upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, "Cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened." So he's mocking them because Elijah know it's a make believe imaginary thing that they got going on, and Elijah knows there's only one true living power. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner, which with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past that they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, and there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. So you guys are going to get mocked when you call on something outside of Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, not Yeshua, Yahweh, and all the other names and ways that people pronounce, try to pronounce or try to say it. It's Yahawah and Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, and Yahawah, Yahawah, Yahweh Shai. No, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai. Those are the names. That's how you pronounce them. It ain't anything outside of that is not it. Satan. Why? Because when you call on it, when you use those names, you're walking in the ways of death. That's why. When you use any names outside of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, you're walking in the ways of death. Because a demon is leading you. A demon is leading you. That's why. Joshua 24:15. And it seemed evil unto you to serve the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve. Whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, bullshit, or the gods of the Amorites in whose lands ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the name, Bahashem, in the name, Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, the anointed one, the only begotten Son, the one that's coming back, the one that's all knees going to bow in heaven, earth, and under the earth are going to bow to Yahweh Shai, which is in the name, which was coming in the name of his father, Yahweh. So Joshua 24:16, and the people answered and said, God forbid that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. And again, these are not even other gods. They've been made gods. They're so-called gods. They have no real power. They can't make effect. They can't feed. They can't change. They can't build. They can't destroy. They're imaginations. And they're ultimately demons. Anything outside of how about Shemi Shai is a demon. Made up demons and all type of stuff. Just bull. 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world, see, something that you can serve, have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of God, Yahweh, It says, "Lest the light of the glorious gospel of YAHAWAH, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine upon unto them." And the God of this world only has power because people give credence to them. But the NLT says Satan, because anything Satan. See, the God of this world, all those names, any other thing outside of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh is Satan. It's Satan. Satan taking on a whole bunch of different names and forms. It's just Satan at the end of the day. NLT, Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. That's the point. Ephesians 4:4. There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, one power, and Father of all, Yahweh, who is above all and through all and in you all. One. Nobody. Yahweh said it. Who else? Who's beside me? He said, "There is nobody with me." He said, "I'm by myself." He said, "There is none with me. I'm by myself." Ain't no I serve myself, I worship myself. None of that nonsense I heard somebody say. Self worship. I'm a god, and taking that whole thing into some folly. Second Ezra 6:1, and he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of the paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Sion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. It's all the things read. Then did I consider these things, that they were all made through me alone, and through none other. And by me also shall they be ended, and by none other. I'm gonna read that same thing in the GNT. I'm trying to read fast. Second Ezra 6 in the GNT. He said to me, I made this decision before I created the world, before the gates of the world were standing, before the winds were brought together to blow, or the lightning flashed, or the thunder rolled, before the foundations of paradise were laid, or the beautiful flowers appeared, before the powers that moved the stars were established, or the armies of angels assembled, before the air was piled up high, or the divisions of the heavens given their names, before I chose Mount Zion as my footstool, before the present age was planned, or the scheming of its sinners was rejected, or my seal was placed on those who obeyed the law and laid up a treasure of faithfulness. Even then I decided, since I and I alone had created the world, I and I alone will bring it to an end. Who else speaks that way? None of these other weak ass idols talk this way, speak this way. And who else warrant who no other power, because there is no other power in reality, but who else from the beginning warned the people about imaginary gods, make believe idols that people would make? A power that's omnipotent, that can foresee the future, that knows what's going to happen. Wisdom of Solomon 15. 15. For they counted all the idols of the heathen to be gods. For they counted all the idols of the heathen to be gods, which neither had the use of eyes to see, nor noses to draw breath, nor ears to hear, nor fingers of hands to handle. And as for their feet, they are slow to go. What does that sound like? That sounds like an inanimate object. I'm gonna get the GNT on this. For man, human, Homo sapiens, idiots. For man made them, and he that borrowed his own spirit fashioned them. But no man can make a God like unto himself. Wisdom of Solomon 15:15 in the GNT. They thought that all their pagan idols were gods. Even though idols can't see with their eyes, cannot breathe through their nose, cannot hear with their ears, cannot feel with their fingers, and cannot walk on their legs. Why? Wood and stone. Imaginations. Make believe. Something that's not really there. They're deluded. They're deluded. Someone whose spirit is only borrowed made them. Someone whose spirit is only borrowed made them. Who is that talking about? A human being. Man's wicked imaginations. Homo sapiens. I believe that's the word. Homo sapiens. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Someone whose spirit is only borrowed made them. Because the Lord can command, demand our spirit whenever. And his body will go to the ground, and his spirit will go to who it made, as it's written. I'm gonna read verse 18. Such people worship the most disgusting animals. That remind me of them damn Indians, so-called Elam, worshiping cows, filling, covering themselves in cow dung. It says such people worship the most disgusting animals, including even the least intelligent ones. Even as animals, they are not attractive enough to make anyone want them. God himself passed them by when he put his approval and blessing on the rest of creation. I guess that's it. Oh no, this last, scriptures I had on deck to basically just convey that point that it's only one power who was here in the beginning. Who else was here in the beginning? You know, who else did all these things that we know? Scriptures tell you. Scriptures are real. But make your decision. Like the Lord been said from the beginning. Because the Lord he know what's in man. He already knew all this. That's what all this was already said. Choose this day. Choose life. Sirach 15:17. But for man is life and death. And whether him liketh shall be given him. How you live. That Deuteronomy 30 and 20. 19 points and 20. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. See, so therefore choose life, that that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God, Yahawah Shem Yahawah, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the length of thy days. See, For he is thy life. For he is thy life. For he is thy life. Again, for he is thy life. That's what Isaiah 42:5. Thus saith the Lord God, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth and that which cometh out of it. He that giveth breath unto the people upon it. He that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and the spirit to them that walk therein. These scriptures, this Bible, is informing you. You have no excuse. The Bible informed you on who made everything, who's responsible for everything, who's responsible for us walking around, living and breathing. The Lord had this Bible written and had it down here so man can have no excuse about what's going on the earth. You're not ignorant on what's going on the earth anymore. It's all in the Bible. And also in that Bible, it says, choose this day. Choose this day. What you gonna do? You're gonna choose life, you're gonna choose death. You're gonna worship me, doing that created the earth that you're standing on, doing that decides to put breath in your lungs every day, or imaginations and wicked things, Satan, evilness, wickedness, etc. Back to Deuteronomy 30 and 20. For he is thy life, YAHAWAH Hashem Yahushua, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Proverbs 8 and 22. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. And this is, wisdom talking about how it was with the creator of all things, actually establishing the earth and everything. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there was no depths, I was brought forth. When there was no fountains abounding with water. Uh, Before the mountain, and YAHWAH was the first thing created. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was out brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountain of the deep, when he gave the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then was I by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. Who? Yahawah Bahashem Yahushua. The only power that's worthy to be worshipped. There is nobody else worthy. So that's the video. That's the point. Choose who you will worship, life or death. Because you worship death, you love death. Because two options. It's life or death. These scriptures tell you, and they mean the shit they say. What they say. Sirach 15:17. Before man is life and death, 1 and 2. Before man is life and death. Where is that at? Oh, it's in the same chapter. Whatever. Proverbs 8 and 36. Two options. Two options. Proverbs 8 and 33. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. It's just choose ye life or death. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily in my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life. So this person that found me, that found the Lord, chose life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death, because you're choosing death, because you're sinning against the Lord. You're transgressing against the Lord. Because it says, Deuteronomy 30 and 20, obeying his voice, basically. Obey his voice, obey his voice, his statutes, his commandments. Deuteronomy 30 and 16. And that I command you this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways. If you don't, then you're sinning. To keep his commandments. If you ignore them, you're sinning. It says, and his statutes and judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. See? That live and multiply. It's clear. If you see it, pay attention, whatever, reading it, you see it. So you're choosing righteousness. You're choosing to live. The poem's made. I don't want to drag it out, but Joshua 24:15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods, because, and that's something I wanted to get to. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, then pray and fix it, because it ain't evil. It says the are not grievous. Burden not grievous. First John 5 and 3. For this is the love of God, of YAHAWAH, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. See? His commandments are not grievous. So, they're not grievous. So, Joshua 24:15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, God, choose you this day whom you will serve. Whether the gods of your fathers that served, that were on the other side of the flood, made of wood and stone, that had no ears, couldn't speak, couldn't see, couldn't walk, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And people think that they're serving the God, the only one true God, but they're not. You are when you are walking in his ways. That's key. You're walking in what the scriptures say. How shall a young man cleanse his way? By doing what the scriptures say, paraphrasing. By taking heed to the word. By walking in his ways, that's key. Choose life. Walk. Deuteronomy 30 and 16. To walk in his ways. To walk in his ways. If you don't walk in his ways, you're not serving the one true power, God. You're not serving him unless you're actually walking according to these scriptures. According to these scriptures. I'm going to close it out now. That's it. Choose ye this day, life or death. who you was worship. Anything outside of this is Satan. If you aren't walking in these specific ways, you're walking after Satan. Period. It's that simple. One and two, life and death. It ain't a bunch of ways to get life. It's like I keep talking and getting more scriptures. Because I'm about to get ways to life. Let me see. Hold on. I guess this is what I'm looking for. Let me just go with this one. John 10 and 1. The thief and the robber. Because, it's one way to life. Uh, I am the way and the truth and the life. I'm tweaking. What? I think that's right here. John 14, 6 and 6. Yahawah saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto me, unto the Father, but by me. So I am the way. Yahawah said he's the way. So John 10 and 1, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. Because there is no other way. So you're a demon. You're a wicked person because you're a thief and a robber now. Because you're looking other ways, you're worshiping other gods, trying to find life, trying to get prosperity, etc., etc. There's only one way. I'm gonna close it out. All right, that's it. Giving all praises, honor, glory, power, riches unto the one true God, YAHAWAH Shem YAHAWAH, the living power who gives us life and power to make these videos just continue on. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel.